Okay. Allegedly I'm live. We'll just see. It looks like my microphone is working. Again, we'll just see. We'll see how it's going. Hello, hello. So for everybody listening on the podcast, they're like, oh, hello, Pam is here. Okay, can you guys hear me? I'm gonna wait until you tell me for sure that my microphone is working. Good morning, Diana. Good to see you. You guys, hello. I'm having quite a morning. So let me tell you, first of all, thank you for everybody who found the live feed this morning. Okay, microphone is working, although a little echoey. Super interesting. Thank you, Janet. I appreciate that. So I was just trying to figure out my settings. You guys, let me just tell you about my day. Do you want to hear about my day? So here's what happened. Yesterday, I gotta do something really quickly. I apologize. Oh, okay. No, I've got Sarah as a moderator. I've got Emily as a moderator. You guys have got some moderators in the chat just in case anything goes sideways with that. Oh, echo is gone. Okay, so it figured itself out. Thank goodness. So here's what happened. When I scheduled today's live feed, and I know you guys don't really care, but I just love to tell you stories about the stuff that happens behind the scenes because I find it interesting. It's not a hidden setting, but it's also not as obvious as I think it should be. There's a little box that says schedule for later. And I've only been doing this, my third time doing live recently. So I forget to check the little schedule later. So what happened was I had just scheduled it. Well, apparently what I had done was actually just opened up a live stream yesterday afternoon. So then this morning, what normally happens is I go into my live stream manager thing and I hit start streaming. And then when I come over to YouTube, it says something like there's a button that says go live, like when I'm ready to. But because the stream was already open, and I mean, you guys understand this about as much as I do, which is to say probably more than I do. So because the stream was already open, it just automatically went live. And so I'm sitting here like with my face going like, and I was live. So I'm like, oh no. I probably swore. So then I clicked end stream. So I had to delete that one because I had ended the stream. It's all a thing. So then I had to create a new one. So those of you who were over there waiting on that other stream, I see that Paula is here, and Paula had asked me a question over there. And Paula, let me just tell you, thank you for asking a question over there, and I'm going to answer it relatively quickly. I have never worked with somebody who has exercise resistance. I know that you had asked that. Was it last week or the week before? Excuse me, I'm talking too much and now I'm going to start burping. And I'd literally never even heard of it. So I went and Googled it. And so what I understand is literally what I found out on Google, which is to say almost nothing. And I found it super fascinating. Like, I plan on doing some more research because I don't know anything about it. So to answer your question, have I ever worked with somebody who has exercise resistance? No, I have not. I do wonder though if I have, because I've definitely met people and worked with people who don't seem to get the results that I expect them to based on either my observation of what they're doing or what they tell me they're doing. So I am really super curious to read and research more to find out how common this is and whether or not something can be done. And I will tell you, Paula, you really specifically, I don't, Amber says you're good, saw all 19 seconds and no swearing. Thank you, Amber. I appreciate that. That was very kind of you because I try really hard not to swear on camera, too much, except when the situation calls for it, like when I have a total mess up on my end. But anyways, Paula, I think, do I know for sure that you are losing weight, that is your main goal? Because the good news is, even with something like my incredibly rudimentary understanding of exercise resistance, is that shouldn't affect your ability to lose weight. What it will affect, again, my 30 seconds on Google tells me that what that will affect is something like being able to gain muscle, or seeing results as far as like balance progress, or seeing results as far as like cardiovascular progress, like results with stamina and strength, those kinds of like fitness gains. And again, 30 seconds on Google taught me that it's just slower than normal. Not that your body won't make adaptations, but just that it makes adaptations at a rate that is not commensurate with what one would expect to see. So the good news is, if you are losing weight, like if that is the reason that you exercise, you can lose weight without exercising at all. So it should not affect your weight loss results. Weight loss is driven not entirely, but very more primarily through eating the right number of calories consistently. Exercise is nice. It's good for you. It's good for your health. It's basically the cherry on top of the sundae, because it's good for you, but it is not the driver of weight loss. So again, correct me if I'm wrong though. I mean, if your goal is to gain a certain type of fitness, and if I have completely misunderstood the little bit that I have learned about exercise resistance, let me know. And again, like I said, I'm going to do some more reading and some more research, because I don't know anything about it and found it super fascinating. And thank you so much for asking that question, because you guys, I don't know if you know, but I love to learn new things. I love to learn more about the human body and how we are all always experiments of one. So fascinating. Hello, everybody. You guys, I'm so happy to see everybody. So many names I recognize. It's so good to see you all. Let me start answering some questions, because let me tell you, first of all, that the way to ask questions, you can either drop a question in the chat, and please do if you have one, but also I have not. My wonderful assistant, Emily, who is here in the chat today, set up an email address that is really specifically for questions that can be answered on the Q&A. It's askpaulab@gmail.com. And I will make sure that email address goes everywhere. I'm going to start putting it on my emails. I'm going to have it available on YouTube, so that you don't have to wait for me to be live. You don't have to wait for me to drop a post on Facebook or whatever. You can send an email anytime you want to. That doesn't, however, guarantee that they're all going to get answered, because we already have so many emails that I'm going to try really hard to get through as many as I can. But if you have a question, that's the perfect place to ask whenever you think, oh, hey, I should ask Paula this. Go ahead and pop me an email, askpaulab@gmail.com. Okay. Lori has a question about, I would love to hear your thoughts on incorporating running into a moderate routine. I took up running much in part to listening to your podcast. I love that. That's so fun. I am a happy short distance runner, 2 to 3 miles, typically 2 runs a week. Otherwise, I walk and other low impact cardio along with strength training 3 times a week. Running is my high impact push workout for the week. I got to tell you, Lori, you've totally figured this out. Like, I appreciate that you're asking, but it sounds like you're doing great. The fact that you are getting the results that you want with enjoying running, and I mean, you don't mention what you're doing as far as if you are maintaining your weight or losing your weight. You don't mention the other results that you are getting right now. So I'm not sure exactly what kind of advice you're looking for, other than it sounds like you're doing a great job. It sounds like you have totally already incorporated your running into your routine. And I love that. That's so fantastic and good for you. And I hope that you are enjoying it so much. Okay. Maggie says, oh, I love this question. I read some of these last night, and I'm super excited about this one. Maggie says, I've been faithfully working out to your videos since August of 2020. Very happy with the results. My question is this. For as long as I can remember, I have always sabotaged my weight loss results. I lose some weight, and then I start to eat the junk and wind up gaining back what I worked so hard to lose, only to be at square one again and again. Can you speak to the psychology of this? Why do I do this? I absolutely can. And let me start with this. This is so normal. This is so completely normal. And this is the reason why I incorporate mindset work into weight loss. It's 100% why we talk about managing your mind, because this is simply something that your brain does. Like, Everybody's brain. I know that it feels very frustrating, and that's why we call it self-sabotage, but truly, here's the thing. Your brain and your body. I mean, we talk about this kind of a little bit more with like muscles, about how your muscles want to be really efficient at things, which means that they want to stay the same as much as possible, and then they want to adapt only when necessary. Your brain does the exact same thing. Your brain has this thought, I weigh whatever the number is, or my weight is a problem, or I need to lose weight, or I wish I could lose weight, or I have to lose weight. Like any number of things that you've been telling yourself forever. And it's not even that those things feel bad or that they hurt your feelings or anything like that. It's just a thought that you have that's very, very efficient now, because your brain wants to be efficient. And then as soon as your body starts losing weight, because you're losing weight, your brain is like, whoa, 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 whoa. No. My weight's a problem. My weight is this. My weight is, I'm trying to lose weight. I need to lose weight. I have to lose weight. Like, your brain starts rebelling against change because your brain doesn't want to change. I mean this so nicely. Your brain, my brain, everybody's brain is basically like a toddler who doesn't want to stop playing in the sandbox to go home and take a nap. Like, you remember when your kids were little and you had to give them like a 5-minute warning, and then a 3-minute warning, and then a 2-minute warning, and now we're packing up. Like, you have to prepare your brain to make a change. And the best way to prepare your brain to make a change is to simply listen to what your brain is saying right now. Like, when you start listening in, and this is what we do on the 5-0 method, you start listening in to the thoughts that you are having about your weight, about the scale, about your life, about you as a human being and what it all means, all those kinds of things. When you see how often you think to yourself that your weight is a problem, or that you need to lose weight, or that you have to lose weight, like when you recognize how often you are just automatically, because your brain is efficient, thinking about needing to lose weight or wanting to lose weight, or what your weight is a problem, then you'll totally get that your brain just doesn't want to stop thinking that. That's all. That's all that's going on. It feels very frustrating, and I totally get that. Like, I'm not trying to downplay how frustrating it is that we seem to find ourselves eating something we didn't mean to eat, or sabotaging, for lack of a better word, ourselves by, not going to sleep, or not drinking our water, or not doing the things that have felt so good for like a month or 2 months or 3 months or whatever. But the only reason that you are finding yourself doing those things is because your brain wants to stay the same. That's all. That's all that's going on. And as soon as you find those thoughts that are just being thunk automatically, then you find them, you recognize them as unhelpful. And I understand that doesn't sound like enough work. Like, I got to think new thoughts. I have to eliminate these thoughts. I promise you, your brain, once you hear the thought, once you recognize that automatic thought, and then you recognize it as being unhelpful, and you simply recognize it, and then you hear it when it comes up again, and you're like, oh, that's right, that's an unhelpful thought. Even the act of recognizing the thought and labeling it as unhelpful is enough. Your subconscious brain is going to go to work on that. And it's going to not weed it out, not eliminate it, but it's going to recognize, oh, this is unhelpful. We've categorized this as unhelpful, which means that we don't want to be thinking this anymore. I know it sounds like magic, and it really, really is. And I have a podcast coming up. I haven't even recorded it yet, but I've been mulling this over, and I have a couple of other ones that are coming up more recent, or more nearly in the future. Why is that not coming to me how to say that properly? Anyway, I have other podcasts that are coming up before this one is coming out, but I am going to explain in great detail how your brain simply fixes this thought that you recognize as unhelpful. So your job right now is to find your unhelpful thoughts and simply categorize them, recognize them as being unhelpful. And that It's not going to eliminate your self-sabotage. Like, I'm not saying, oh, as soon as you find these thoughts, then everything is going to be cured and magical and fine. What I'm saying is that you will begin the process of not sabotaging yourself as much. You will begin the process of recognizing the thoughts that aren't helpful. You will begin the process. It's going to take some time. Some thoughts to go down easy. Some thoughts take a while. Some thoughts need a little bit more like rooting out. There are lots of paths on your way to success with this, and none of them are immediate, but that doesn't mean that it's not working. So that was a really good question. Thank you so much for asking that. Let me answer this one really quickly. I saw that Darlene asked why there are no December workouts. There are. You guys, so December, the first Monday of December is the latest it could actually be. Like it couldn't be any later, because if it were on the 7th, then I would have had a workout that came out on the 1st. We just got really lucky that November, the first Monday in November, was on the 1st. And I think in October, it was like the 3rd or something. So it still kind of felt like the 1st. The first Monday in December is this coming Monday on the 6th. It's just super, super late. December workouts are coming. I promise there's going to be a whole week of them. They're really good. You're going to love them. It's awesome. It's just feels really late. And I will tell you just a little heads up about what's coming in 2022. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that I really want to give you spoiler alerts, but I'm gonna not. But here's what's happening is that I'm going to have a new 5-day series every 4 weeks. So we don't have to wait for the first of the month. We don't have to figure out what's going on with the calendar at all. It's just every single 4th week. It's more regular than my periods ever were. Every single 4th week, we will have a 5-day series, which actually, very exciting, means that we are going to have more series than we did this year. Because when you go every 4 weeks, there's actually going to be, I think, 13 of them instead of the 12 that we would get by having one at the beginning of every month. I swear I've figured this out. I think it's 13. I'm saying that out loud now and it doesn't sound right. I'll look at the math again. In any event, every 4th week. So for those of you who are going to be expecting something on the very 1st of January, the 1st of January is a Saturday. It's a lazy day. So the first workout of 2022 will be Monday, my calendar's too far away. I want to say that it's the 3rd of January. It must be. Yeah, because the 1st is a Saturday. The 2nd would be a Sunday. 3rd is a Monday. I'm almost as good at calendars as I am at regular math. You guys. Okay, let me answer some more questions. Chris says, I'm curious how you figured out that moderate workouts are all we need. It's the opposite of what we have been told and even been doing for years. Yeah, no kidding, right? Right? Here's what happened. I saw a video 2 years ago now by a woman that I recommend. And I also kind of don't. I mean, this sounds bad. Her information is really good, but here's what I notice about watching her videos. She gives you half of the information that you need and then says, go buy my book or come join my group. I find it frustrating. You might love her. I mean, her information's really good. She gets into the science of things. I love listening to what she has to say because I find her to be very credible and I find her to be very frustrating because I don't want to join her group and I don't want to buy her book. And actually, even the Amazon reviews for her book say that the entire book is an advertisement to come join her group. So I'm not even sure if she gives away the information in her book. So anyways, her name is Dr. Beth Westy. She's here on YouTube. I find the information to be very good. And she had a video about 2 years ago where she said, it was like this throwaway comment about how estrogen clears out your stress, and therefore, if you're exercising too much, you'll gain weight. And I was just like, what? Because she was talking about how it works with your periods, how you have high estrogen and low estrogen, how your estrogen fluctuates throughout the month. So she wasn't even talking about menopause. And then I was like, what are you even talking about? So I went straight to the Googles and started doing like scholarly articles and things like this. And yeah, there's not a lot of research. And I will tell you that what I have found is that many of the the very good, like, research studies that I have found are conducted. Oh, the audio did something. Uh-oh. Okay, I don't know why. I haven't touched anything. Hold on, I haven't touched anything. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Hopefully you can. Oh, there's an echo again. Okay, this must be... Let me see if I turn this one off. Okay. There's an echo in the center. I think the echo might be a YouTube thing. The fact that it's going on and off when I'm literally clicking nothing, hopefully means that this is just a YouTube thing. You guys, I'm so sorry. So frustrating when I either have control over something or I don't. Started getting echoes. Okay. Well, hopefully YouTube will figure itself out. And I'm going to continue answering the question. The scholarly articles that I have found, the research that I have found, has been conducted through, meaning that it has been like paid for through companies that create hormone replacements. So, in my opinion, that when somebody is paying for a study, they're going to find what they mean to find, meaning that if they find that you need estrogen to recover from your workouts, hey, by the way, we provide estrogen. Like I don't find it to be the most credible source. I have found other scholarly articles and other research that have, it started when your hands were still. Amber, you are the best. My hands are never still, but I don't think I hit anything. I can't imagine that I did. So I'm just going to assume that this is a YouTube problem. I have found other scholarly articles, other research that has talked about the estrogen cortisol connection and have talked about some of the things that happen during menopause. Like there's enough research to show that we don't recover from workouts the way that we used to. Therefore, I mean, honestly, a lot of what I say is, it's very, I guess I'm just going to call it a layperson's science. I mean, I have not proven this in any manner except through myself and through you guys. I have so much anecdotal evidence that taking your workout down a notch, if you used to over-exercise and or working up to something that feels very moderate, that is the best thing for weight loss. And honestly, I've practiced this with men also. Like the moderate exercise approach, I have worked with lots of clients, both one-on-one and, on the YouTubes, where simply keeping your exercise at a nice moderate level every single day just helps you be consistent. It never gets you to the point where you need to figure out, oh, I've got to eat back this number of calories, or I have to eat this many fewer calories today because I didn't exercise as much. Like just being, okay, now that echo is gone. Okay, that is definitely not me then, you guys. I didn't touch anything. Okay, that's absolutely a YouTube thing. Okay, good to know. Exercising moderately just every single day just helps you be consistent. Truly. Like that's, if nothing else, even if there is no physical component, and there totally is, but even if there was no physical component, there's such a psychological component to being able to do the same thing every day and knowing that every single day you are doing what you need to do in order to lose weight. Like I find that to be one of the easiest way to, like, not even manage your mindset, to not manage your mindset, to simply put yourself in the place where your actions are helping you manage your mindset because you are being so consistent. So to answer, even further answer the question, and this is something that I think that a lot of women get, I'm not going to say confused because that sounds so rude, but where my message is maybe not very clear. When you are done losing weight, you can continue to exercise moderately every single day and maintain your health, maintain your weight, feel amazing, have energy for doing everything else. Like Moderate exercise every single day is incredibly healthy for you and incredibly helpful for you as far as maintaining your weight and even increasing your fitness, depending on where your fitness was, before you started exercising moderately. However, you can exercise more vigorously once you are done losing weight. Now, here's the thing. The every day while you're losing weight just helps you be consistent. But when you're done losing weight, you can absolutely add push days. You can push yourself however you want to. It's going to depend on what you want out of it. And it's going to depend on, in my opinion, paying a lot of attention to your body's signals, paying a lot of attention to noticing when you're not recovering very well. I mean, she says today with puffy fingers because I totally overdid it like 3 days ago. I am still figuring out when and how to push myself. And I am noticing that my push it's different. Like even trying to be on a relatively like even schedule of, okay, I'm going to push on Mondays, or it's never Mondays. It's usually over the weekend, but I'm going to push on a certain day and then this is going to happen and then that is going to happen. And I've noticed that based on where I am in menopause, which is still in the menopause transition, like my periods still arrive when they arrive, sometimes, and I'm noticing that is starting to really affect, because they're getting really irregular, it's starting to affect my ability to recover. So I noticed that my estrogen is still waxing and waning, but not the way that it used to. So I'm still trying to pay attention to my own body and figure out, okay, when can I push? And when do I notice that I've pushed too much? And what are the other signs that maybe today would not be a good day to push? Still figuring this out, you guys. You're always going to be an experiment of one to figure out what works for your body. Thank you so much for asking. First Monday in January is January 4th. Is it really? The first, I swear, is a Saturday. Unless I've got that wrong. You know what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They're coming out the first Monday of January, whatever that is. Okay. And then Lorraine had the same question about no, that's a different question. Excuse me. Lorraine had a question about, will there be a 30-day challenge? So no, I'm not going to have a 30-day challenge this January. I do have the 2 that I have already put out for weight loss. And then I have the one that wasn't quite 30 days. It was 29 days for body shaping. And I have an echo all of a sudden again. Okay. Sorry, you guys. This is not me. Not me. I'm going to put my hands up. Put my hands on top of my head. It's not me. I'm not touching anything. It's 100% YouTube. And this actually answers a question. Lenora asked a question about returning to offering 7 days of workout at the beginning of each month. I really miss that format because I exercise with you every morning, not just Monday through Friday. So here's what I want to tell you guys. And I know how this is going to sound to some of you because you're welcome to hear it however you hear it. So let me say it in a way that I promise you this is coming from love. Like I 100% promise you that this is coming from love, and then you hear it however you hear it. You don't need more workouts, right? I know. Here's the thing about having more. When you rely on more, it offers you the opportunity to kind of always be thinking about the next thing and kind of always be looking forward to something else, which is nice. But also when you are relying on the external, more, it almost puts you in a position where you're not thinking about what you already have and not utilizing what you already have in a way that can get you where you want to go. And here's what I mean by that. You already have more than enough workouts. And I mean that nicely. I have over 1,000. I mean, truly, I have over 1,000. It would take you, whatever that would be, 3 years to get through all the workouts. Now, not all the workouts that I have are appropriate. Trust me, for weight loss. Not at all. Not by a long shot. But my point is that I have 1,000 workouts. I have, over the past 2 years, put out, I was going to burp, excuse me. Nope, didn't come back out. I have so much content for you to use in the way that it can be used for weight loss. So always wanting more isn't necessarily in your best interests. At some point, you guys, at some point, and not like really soon, but at some point in the future, I'm going to allow you to just use what I've already got. You have plenty. And I enjoy putting out more, which is why I'm going to put out more. But when you, I'm going to say, take responsibility for putting together your workout routine in a way that makes sense for you. No matter what I put out, you will always be repeating something. Like when I put out 7 days, you still repeat that over the course of the month. So when I put out 5 days, you're still just going to be repeating that. When I put out 7 days, you're going to be repeating that. When I put out 31 days, you would still be repeating that. When I put out 100 days back in 2017, which by the way, are not appropriate for weight loss. They're 10-minute workouts, and some of them are really hard and some of them are very gentle and easy. It is not a weight loss routine at all. But here's what I'm saying. When I put out 100 days, on the 101st day, you had to go find something else and repeat it. There's always going to be a level of repetition no matter what I do. No matter what I do. Therefore, being in a place like mentally where that's just part of your routine and you know that and you take ownership of that and you make decisions about that and you feel good about the decisions that you make. I mean, please do. My goodness, please do feel good about the decisions that you make. It puts you in the driver's seat of the results that you are getting in a way that when you're waiting for me to do more, you don't have to. And that's why, I mean, and it has nothing to do with what, 5 days or 7 days. Honestly, the 5 days was for a lot of reasons, not the least of which was me helping myself not burn out. I mean, I'll be really, really honest. I got a lot on my plate right now. 5 days is very doable, and 7 days was right at the point where I wasn't sure if I could continue at all. I would rather continue putting out 5 days, which is helpful to you, than 0 days, which, I mean, again, I have such a backlog. You're welcome to all of them. You have plenty. But I do want to continue offering you new content as long as I can, until such time as I'm going to let you continue to use it. Okay. Lisa says, I would like to know, maybe in a future podcast, what all you did to train and prepare for the many ultra races you have accomplished. I ran a lot. I ran a lot, and I managed my mind a lot. Honestly, I managed my mind far more than I managed my body. Although I did manage my body too. I mean, that's the thing that goes into any kind of physical performance. It's not about what you do. It's about what you think. And I'm going to offer you that advice for literally everything you want to accomplish, whether it's weight loss or fitness related or job related or relationship related. It's not just what you do. It's what you do is a product of what you think, and therefore managing what you think is going to help you do what you need to do. That was a really good question. Thank you for that. Jackie says, Paula, when you say hold in your core or tighten your core, or you should be feeling this in your core, what does that mean exactly? I actually, Jackie, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. I have a video from, was it March? Was it May? I don't remember exactly. But I spend the entire workout talking about where's your core, how to pull it in, what it is. And I believe the title is A Strong Core Starts Here. No, that's not the title. That's what the thumbnail says. A Strong Core Starts Here. And the title is something about beginners. I don't remember what it is though. I know because Sarah is here and moderating the chat. Sarah is so good with this. I swear she knows my videos better than I do. And hopefully she will drop you a link because I have an entire 23 minutes of talking about here's your core, here's what it feels like, here's what to do. I actually have another one, and I know that this one is called Empowering Core Workout for Older Women, where I do even more talking. I know, right? Even more talking, Paula? Really? Yes. Even more talking about your core, about how to find it, why it's important, what we do with it, all of those kinds of things. Those are the two that I can think of right off the top of my head that are really explanational, which isn't a word at all, but that really explanatory, that really spend a lot of time talking and not just doing. Because sometimes, I mean, when we're in the middle of, picking up heavy things, putting them back down again and doing stuff like that, it can be really hard to be like, okay, where is my core? But I'm also doing this thing with my arm up here. So I do have a couple of resources where all we're doing is talking about your core. And I do find those to be incredibly helpful. And I would honestly do those workouts maybe on a day when you're not thinking of it as a workout, but like, just listen to it. Just listen to it and pay attention to it and like just work on finding your core so that when you are working out, you can, work out. Sarah, thank you so much. You guys, so much help. Thank you. Shirley says, as a newbie to your channel, is there a video on working with diastasis recti, which I always mispronounce, and so you'll forgive me. I'm going to call it ab separation because those are words I can pronounce. No, that is beyond my pay grade. That is something that I would absolutely recommend that you talk to your doctor and physical therapist. I do have some exercises that could be helpful for it. Absolutely. But like anything that has an actual diagnosis, I strongly recommend that you talk to your physical therapist, find out exactly what's going to be important for you personally. Everybody who gets ab separation doesn't have the exact same kind and doesn't need the exact same work. So me offering you general advice is just that. It's general advice. When you talk to your doctor and go see your physical therapist, they're going to be able to actually see you. They're going to lay hands on you and touch and palpate and figure out, okay, how far is your ab separation? What's going on here? They will give you such personalized advice that will be helpful for you and will actually get you the results that you want in terms of like bringing your abs back together. Because it's not general advice. It's advice for you personally. So please contact your doctor. And Sherry says, what advice do you have for someone who's getting back to exercise after many years of being a caregiver and not taking care of myself? I have about 20 pounds to lose. My friend, I have so much for you. I'm going to suggest that you start with the book, which is the 5-0 method, which talks about everything that you need to do to lose weight, because truly the exercise portion of it is not the least of it. It's a fair bit of it, but it's not the thing that's going to help you lose weight. So if your goal is to lose weight, focus on losing weight and then exercise as part of that, but don't just come to exercise and be like, okay, exercise is going to take care of everything, because it doesn't. It doesn't take care of everything. It takes care of lots of things. It helps you with your health. It helps you take care of you. Absolutely. But it is not the main driver of weight loss. So, I have a resource on my website. It's paulabfitness.com. It does help if you spell my name correctly. I know you're new, or maybe you're not new to me, but you're new to exercise. So you might be new to me. My name is spelled P-A-H-L-A, which is weird. It's a family name. Go figure. But it also makes it really easy. When you Google me, it's me. It is not a generic name. So it's paulab.fitness.com/weight-loss-over-50, the number 50. Weight loss over 50 is going to help you with everything. It's going to give you literally everything you need to know for free. And in that ebook, there are links to 62 workouts that are the first 2 months of your weight loss journey. So helpful. You can come back to those again and again and again. In fact, I even mention it during the videos. Come back to these again. Repeat this series. Keep on going. This is how we lose weight. This is what we do. So go download the book. It's totally free, and that'll get you going. And that'll help you. And it'll help you figure out kind of how much you want to do. When you guys first get into it, not you guys, when I first got into it, there's there's two natural inclinations. Number one is the inclination of doing way too much. And number two is the inclination of kind of maybe doing almost nothing and trying to figure it out and doing a lot of prep work, like mental prep work, like, oh, I'll think about this. And then, maybe Monday, maybe next Monday, maybe next Monday. So whichever way you're coming at it, my goal for that book, the 5-0 method, is to help you understand that it's all good. Wherever you are is exactly where you are. You start here. You do what you can, when you can. You make the least amount of changes possible to help you be consistent. Whatever you can do consistently. And maybe that just means that you start setting your alarm for the same time every morning. Like maybe that's the thing that you start with. Or maybe you just start by making sure that you always have 1 glass of water a day if you've been drinking none. Like whatever one thing that you can do, that's what you do. That's where you start. And then as you can do more, you can do more. And that's fantastic. Rather than trying to make broad, sweeping changes that change every single thing in your life that you're only going to be able to sustain for like 3 days before you're like, oh, absolutely not. Make little changes that help you get started. And then from there, you can make more little changes. And then from there, you can make more little changes. You have the rest of your life to get wherever you're going. Being in a hurry isn't going to help you. Being really, really, really loving and compassionate and patient with yourself is the answer. 100%. Being compassionate and patient with yourself and your body, frankly, because your body's going to do what your body's going to do. Being loving and compassionate and patient with yourself and your body, you can go anywhere. You can do anything. 100%. 100%. Thank you for asking that question. Ephraim, whose name I really hope I'm pronouncing correctly. I feel like I'm saying that a lot today because I always feel that way. Says, thank you for your support workout videos, which have really helped me get fit after my cancer treatment. And I'm super glad that you had successful treatment, Ephraim. My question is, when you say punch as part of a movement as opposed to reach, for example, am I supposed to be moving in a slightly different way? No. Honestly, I use those kind of interchangeably. I think, personally, I think of a punch as a little bit more of, the reason I say punch instead of reach. When I think reach, I almost always not lock my elbow, but I think about pulling, I don't know if you can, yeah, you kind of can. I think about pulling forward a little bit from my shoulder as opposed to a punch, which has my shoulder set in one position. So I guess these actually are different. I say punch so that it is a strength movement versus a stretching movement. When I'm thinking about punching, I'm not talking about getting power behind it or anything like that. I'm just talking about moving your arm while your shoulder is set so that you can work your whole shoulder complex, so that you're thinking about pulling from, you can't see this, but from your pectoralis in the front and from your latissimus dorsi in the back. And then, of course, you got your delts and lats in there too. But I already said lats. Get your delts and traps in there too. You're working the entire shoulder complex by punching versus then by reaching, which actually has you really pulling a lot from your abs and obliques, and not in a way where you're just pulling in your core, but in a way where you're almost twisting your body more. Generally speaking, when I am talking about a front punch kind of movement, I'm not doing any twisting. Thank you for asking that. That was really fun. I love talking about everything. But I really like breaking down movements because it helps me figure out what we're doing and how to help you get the most out of the movements. And then the echo is back. I love it. And yes, Tammy, we are still live. As a matter of fact, we are still live for a couple more minutes. I've got a couple more questions to answer. Nana says, maybe you've already answered this elsewhere. I might have, but that's totally okay. And you guys, just so you know, this is not her question, but just so you know, I really don't mind answering the same question again and again. I know that where you are is where you are, and that's completely okay. I don't need you to always be able to go back and find the one time that I talked about this somewhere else. This information, if you need it, I am willing to provide it. Anyways. Oh, I love this. And I think somebody else asked this also, said, I can't help but notice all the wonderful outfits you wear, and I never see any repeats. My friend, I repeat them all the time. When you start looking for it, you'll notice that I do repeat, not really close together because I do try very hard to, I, I'm so visual. Like so visual. This is why I can tell you what the thumbnail looks like of some workout that I did 8 months ago, because I've looked at that thumbnail a million times. I assume that you guys do too. So like really specifically, the outfits that I wore in October, the twin sets where they had the bra and the shorts that were the same color, I will very likely break those apart and wear them again, like mixed and matched with other things. So I have not worn them again because I found those to be very visually distinct. But if you do start looking, and I don't mean this like you need to go study my thumbnails, but if you do start looking, you'll notice that I do wear a lot of the same clothes again and again and again. And to be fair, I only film, a couple workouts for you. I wear them again all the time. So the things that are in my drawer, how many drawers do I have now? 4 drawers? 3. I only have 3 drawers. I'm doing good. I only have 3 drawers, and they're my biggest drawers of workout clothes. But I wear them again and again and again and again and again. And when I am done with them, they still have life in them. I make sure that I give them to, I usually do like Goodwill or Salvation Army, like just because they're here in my town. So I do give them to charity so that somebody else can get more life out of them. I don't throw away anything except for the things that I have ruined in one manner or another. And what I mean by ruined is I don't think I own a single piece of lower body clothing that does not have period stains. You guys have really heard a lot about me and my perimenopausal journey right now, but this has been the hallmark of my perimenopausal journey, is that it's always a surprise. And it's always a crime scene too. So I don't always give away lower body clothing because I don't think anybody really needs to see that. But I give away to charity anything that still has life in it. And I wear the same things over and over. In fact, true story, I don't know what day it was. I want to say it was day 17 of the Walk Off the Weight, which was January's 31-day series from 2021. I'm wearing an orange outfit that I have had the shirt since like 2014, and I have had those pants since like 2014 or 2015. And when I sent out the email, and I don't know if it's actually in the description box or not, but I remember when I sent out the email that I was like, for all those of you who think that I wear new clothes every single time, here is video proof. And I have video links to where you can see me wearing those pants in some video from, like 2014 or 2015 and wearing the shirt from some other time because I've worn it like hundreds of times on camera. It's one of my favorite shirts. I still wear it all the time. So yes, I do reuse, rewear lots and lots of things, except if it's really uncomfortable. If there's something that I have purchased that I'm like, oh, this is good enough, it's okay, and then I wear it and I'm exercising and I'm like, oh, absolutely not, this is not fun, then I give that one away right away. And again, though, I do give it away so that somebody else can get life out of it, because I don't believe in throwing away things that don't need to be thrown away. I really, really try and recycle as much as humanly possible. Okay. Susan has a great question. Could you give suggestions of ways to eat more calories, about 300 more a day? I'm supposed to eat 1,920 calories a day, and I've been eating below 1,600 for years. I am losing 30 pounds. Okay, first of all, Susan, I just need to tell you, I love how you stated, I am losing 30 pounds. How empowering does that feel? Do you love that? Because you are. Of course you are. And you're figuring this out. Here's what I do. When I need to eat more, I simply eat the things I'm already eating. Like, for example, my breakfast, depends on which one I'm eating. When I'm doing a breakfast shake or I'm doing my breakfast bowl, if I need more calories, I just put in a little bit more peanut butter or a little bit more honey or a little bit more. I can't really do the yogurt because the yogurt is pre-portioned for me. But having even like another half of a tablespoon of peanut butter is like another 50 calories or is that right? Because yeah, it's 2 tablespoons is 200. So that would be 100 per tablespoon. So a half a tablespoon would be 50. I can do math on camera. You see my math face? But like there's another 50 right there. When I'm eating dinner, rather than having, this much, I'll just have like this much. I'll just have like another 100 calories of it. My entire philosophy is based on eating what you already know and love and finding portions that make sense. I don't believe in going out and trying to find a new snack of something. If I'm not already eating a snack, I don't really want to add another snack. But if I am eating a snack and there's something I can just add to it, like if I'm having, let's say a handful of almonds, then I'll have a handful plus 3 or whatever. A handful is actually a fair bit of almonds. It's almost enough calories for a meal. But here's what I'm saying. Eat the foods you're already eating and just find ways to make the portions a teeny bit bigger. Add, one tablespoon of peanut butter. Add whatever it is. Is that like 12 almonds? It's like 100 calories. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've looked that up. But add a little bit more of what you are already eating and simply let that take care of the calories versus trying to shift your whole mindset into, okay, now I got to add another meal or I've got to add another thing. As soon as, I don't know if you heard that in my voice, but I was like, I got to add whatever. Like, that brought my shoulders down. That made me feel like this whole thing is just a giant burden and I can't figure it out and I don't want to figure it out and it's such a pain and like everything about that sentence, I have to add 300 calories, just felt like dragging me down. That feeling means that thought is unhelpful. When you don't feel good about what you are doing, you're not going to continue doing it. You're just not. So finding something that feels really easy. For me, the thought of another spoonful of peanut butter is like, woohoo! I love peanut butter. Love peanut butter. So adding a little bit more feels really good to me. Adding a little bit more of whatever you already eat that you already enjoy, that seems to me like it should be easy and should feel really good. You get to figure that out though. Like, what are you thinking about eating, one more slice of bread or one more whatever? Like, how does that feel to you? And it's a great opportunity to journal about that and to really kind of dive in. Like, what am I thinking about eating 300 more calories? What am I thinking about increasing my portion size? You might find that it's not the calories or the trying to find the food. You might find that there are thoughts in there like, I shouldn't eat that much. It's hard to eat that much. I can't eat that much. I won't lose weight if I eat that much. Like, you might find that you have some sneaky little thoughts in there that are driving this I don't know what to do. I don't know how kind of a feeling, because that's what we do. When your brain doesn't want to do something, it starts getting confused. This is something my brain does to me all the time. And as soon as I recognize it, as soon as I notice myself saying, I don't know how, I don't know what, I can't figure this out, I'm like, oh, those are unhelpful thoughts. What's going on? What am I afraid of here? Like, what's behind that curtain? Like, what's going on back there that my brain doesn't want me to do? And then as soon as you figure that out, I suspect, honestly, I suspect that you have some thoughts about that calorie number, especially if you've been eating under 1600, that your brain might find that to feel threatening. It's new, it's different, and it's maybe untested. So your brain might be offering you some thoughts like, this isn't going to work. This isn't how we should do things. I'm going to gain or whatever. Finding those thoughts and recognizing, okay, here's a thought that my brain is offering me. Here is something that my brain is probably afraid of. Because let me just tell you something. Brains, A, always want to be efficient by doing the same thing, and therefore B, find something new to be scary. It's an unfounded fear, but it's very real because that's just how our brains react. To be fair, when our big logical brain, the prefrontal cortex, came into being, there were lots of dangers. Leaving the cave meant that you could eat a poisonous berry, or you could run into a saber-toothed tiger, or, you could die in a million different ways. So your brain wants you to stay in the cave. Your brain absolutely wants you to keep doing the same things that you already know aren't going to cause you to die. and I promise you, eating 300 more calories, it shouldn't kill you, but your brain might think that it will, just because it's different. Completely normal. And that's why I suggest eating foods that you already know, so that it's a little bit less scary for your brain. It feels a little safer. because it's already tested. It's already in your repertoire. It's already something that you know how to do and what to do. That was a really good question. Thank you for that. Kathleen says, what helps with plateaus? I lost weight. Oopsies. Oh gosh, how did I lose that? I scrolled and then all of a sudden it was completely gone. That was super weird. Okay. I I can't find the question again, but I read enough of it. What do you suggest for plateaus? I actually just had a video. Was that a couple weeks ago now? I don't remember exactly when it came out. If you go to my YouTube channel, there's a Start Losing Again Now, something like that. It's got a blue background. And I think it even says something about break through your weight loss plateau or something. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but I have a whole video that talks all about plateaus, like why they happen, what they are, what you can do, whether or not you're actually having a plateau. Oftentimes your brain will offer you, oh, I'm not losing weight anymore. And it's not necessarily true, but it's how your brain is interpreting what is going on. So I recommend that video because it's a much more thorough explanation of all about how to break through a plateau. Excuse me. Oh, Take Note Music. Okay, I love that name. It says, hi Paula, would your 5-0 program also work for men over 50? Yes. Here's the thing. I have actually used the 5-0 program really successfully with, let's see, how old was my client? He was like 32, I think. My husband is still in his 40s. He has also used the 5-0 method. Honestly, weight loss is driven for everybody by eating the right number of calories and doing other things like making sure that you're drinking enough water, making sure that you're sleeping adequately, making sure that you're exercising regularly, making sure that you're paying attention to what your brain is offering you. I don't know a person who can't use the 5-0 method. And I want to be very, very, very clear that what is moderate exercise for one person might not be moderate for another. For those of you who have husbands who want to lose weight, they can do so much more and they can eat so much more and they will lose so much faster. It's just biology. It's absolutely okay. It means nothing about you. I gotta tell you, this is something that we all do. We all want to compare ourselves to somebody else who's getting more success by doing something different that we wish we could do and things like that. It has nothing to do with you. Men's biology is different. And to be fair, not every man every time is going to have instant success. My husband actually had a lot of success right away and then kind of plateaued and kind of really had to figure some things out and really had to work on his mindset of what is moderate, what do I want, what's important to me. He had to do the exact same thing that we all have to do, had to figure out, how am I going to persevere here when this isn't easy every day, when I don't really feel like doing this anymore, but I still want the goal. What do I have to do for this? And I think, I mean, he never shared it with me, but I think my husband had some mental blocks about the number that he was reaching for, like what that meant, and when he was that weight before, and all the kinds of things that I talked to you guys about. I thought it was very interesting watching him. He lost weight like almost a year ago now, and really had his own struggles. It was really interesting. I mean, everything's interesting to me. Everything is fascinating to me. Sarah, thank you. Google says 14 to 15 almonds for 100 calories. Okay, I knew it was somewhere around there. So awesome. Thank you. Ethan says, would you recommend rice cakes as a good food to eat during a calorie deficit? If you like rice cakes, I find them to be dry and horrible, personally. You couldn't pay me money to eat a rice cake. You guys, I don't believe in eating low-calorie foods. I just don't. I believe in eating the foods that you already know and love in portions that make sense. There are lots of reasons why you might not be able to eat certain foods, and that is absolutely a conversation for you and your doctor. If there are foods that aren't going to react well with you, all those kinds of things. I'm not saying that that is the best nutrition. I'm saying it's a great place to start, because the more things you try and change, the less likely you're going to stick with it. Honestly, I cannot stress enough that you don't get results instantly. You get results through consistency over time. So whatever you can be consistent with, and for me, that means eating foods that I already like. If you can be consistent for, honestly, I mean, if you're going to eat rice cakes, do you want to eat a rice cake every day for the next 5 years? I don't. You can see it on my face. I don't. But I can eat peanut butter every day for the next 5 years because I've eaten it every day for, gosh, 15 years now, I think at least. When you look at today's decisions as something that you could possibly be doing for every day for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, would you actually still make that decision? It's a great way of thinking about your exercise. It's a great way of thinking about what you're eating. It's a great way of thinking about all the things that you're doing. Okay, you guys, oh my gosh, all of a sudden it's 8 o'clock. Thank you all so much. So many great questions today. Totally appreciated it. Super, super happy that you all were here. It was great to see you. I love you. I hope you heard exactly what you needed to hear. And if not, come on back. Not next week. Next week, no Q&A Friday. The week after that is the 17th. I will see you on the 17th of December. And the only reason I'm not doing one next week is because I have a video coming out and I want you to be able to do the video. Okay, you guys, have a great